You've already mentioned in your own right a few of them already, but what do you feel are some of the challenges facing public education? And when we're talking about public education, we're talking, pre-K or junior kindergarten, depending upon which district you're in, all the way through higher ed. So, what are some of the challenges facing public education?
Yeah, I think the challenges for public education, to me, both from the K-12 and higher education perspective, it all goes back to money and being underfunded and, being subject to kind of privatization in different ways. We cannot provide education of the sort our students deserve if we don't have the resources to do that. Those resources require sufficient funding for all parts of what we do, from compensation to staffing to other resources that are really important. So I think that's the real challenge, that we're all being asked to do more with less. I think that the objective of teaching a curriculum that comes from the perspective of educators, for example, or ensuring that there's sufficient academic freedom, or ensuring that there's the proper type of diversity, whether it's gender, race, or other forms of identity. That's all made harder if we're working under conditions of austerity. So I would say in general, that's our biggest challenge.
I not only agree, I would add and say it's deliberate. There has been a strategic plan to privatize public education for a couple of decades now, and we're now seeing what happens when our schools are so underfunded that they're not safe spaces. And the gender piece, I think, front and center, also because our educators have been removed of their agency, their autonomy, their ability to teach the truth, their inherent right to be professionals on the work site. But for me, I think the biggest problem, besides the privatization, but it goes hand in hand, is just how unsafe educators are. I have used my voice for more than 4 years, speaking to the elects, to the commissioners at DESE, to the governor and others, about the continued assaults happen primarily to women on the job site. I've met women who have been concussed several times in a school year, and for the most part, it's our paraprofessionals, it's our adjuncts, it's those who are working 3 jobs. I've met a paraprofessional who had a fractured pelvis, an educator who was hit with a baseball bat. And every time we tell these stories, the response is, yeah, it's terrible. And then no action happens. So I really am very, very committed to leading with commitment to educator safety, student safety, funded schools, and attacking the privatization of our public good.
And so when I speak about the concerns of austerity and how I think it affects all educators and staff in our public education system, it's that we're asked to do more with less. So this is really about conditions of work for all of us. It's about feeling underpaid when we're all facing challenges of affordability. And this lands most heavily on the most disadvantaged among our workers, right? Because some of us have more privilege than others. And that's a real concern of mine. It's an economic insecurity and the stress that goes with that. And so I think that austerity and privatization is a problem, from a policy standpoint, but how it's felt is a profound sense of economic insecurity that we really need to address.
Thank you.